The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman by Shahrazad Ali. Introduction. The Preface. The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman is the culmination of many years of study, observation, and research. It is a forerunner, the first book of its kind to realistically detail the problems between the black man and the black woman in America. It is designed to enlighten the black man and create a revolution of positive change in the black relationships. The major category addressed is the black woman's emotional insecurity and related fears and how they contribute to the problem. The black woman emotional distress is often highlighted during discussions about the problem, but neither side admits the real deal. The men protectively withhold their opinions and the women just outright lie. Their discourse remains detached and superficial, with crucial issues delicately avoided by unspoken agreement on both sides. Part of this is because the black woman does not know that she has an adjustment problem. She certainly does not believe that her disrespect for the black man is destructive, nor that her opposition to him has deteriorated the black nation. The other part is that the black man has received no confirmation that what he suspects is actually happening. The black woman's misdirected intentions rob her of the security and the satisfaction she longs for, and she continues to lack the solution to repairing her damaged self-esteem by herself. Her confusion about her role and purpose and the interference of Western society have produced her in an inappropriate behavior. Her main fault is that she wants to have her own way. It is not unfair generalization to charge the black woman with being out of control due to her rebellion against the authority of the black man. If the black man intends to be successful in mating with the black woman, he must be aware of every aspect of her nature. While this book is not an intentional negative portrayal of the black woman, I would say singularly focus on her problems, and I would tell the truth about her condition. Inside information which has never appeared in print will be revealed with clarity and speed, and I'll explain why the black woman persists in the face of repetitive error to hold steadfast to the principles that cause her to fail in her attempts to unite with the black man. I am breaking a tradition of secrecy and cover-ups. This book will be met with opposition and anger by the majority of black women. They will charge me with betrayal. Some will argue that my examples are inaccurate and that my samples are based solely on stereotypes and extrapolation. Others will claim it a rude, unwanted attack on honorable black womanhood and label me as a traitor. A few may even swear that this document is autobiographic, which it is not. We can't expect the worst, but the time has come. The black man can no longer be allowed to stumble around blindly trying to overcome obstacles in the black woman he knows little, if anything, about. While this guide provides some answers, it is not to be used as a weapon against the black woman or as cause for a dereliction of duty by the black man. And it is not a limited work. The black man must take charge of examine the lives of every black female in his domain, his wives, his daughters, his sisters, his aunt, and his mother. Any black woman or black girl he comes into contact with or is responsible for must be studied and corrected if she is found to be out of order according to the black civilized standards. These standards will be discussed. This book is for every black man in America, and it doesn't matter who he is or what he's got. His woman is his problem. The black man has suffered and continues to suffer in all aspects of his life generated by the problems he has with his women. He has endured rejection and failure in his personal life almost as calmly as success and triumph. Naturally, During these computerized, fast-paced times, it is now fashionable for the black woman to be in submission to the black man. In retaliation, the black woman has withdrew his support in all areas. He tries to work his life around the scorn. Still, this report does not absolve or vindicate the black man from the negligence in allowing the black woman to become distasteful. He cannot continue to shrink his portion of his responsibility for her outrageous and embarrassing conduct, and he is the only one qualified and justified to put the black woman back in order. He must not strive for perfection in the black woman. This is the wrong generation for that. Instead, he must strive for effort in improving it and being insist on progress. When she learns better, she must do better. Some of the remedies in this book will seem harsh and unorthodox, but pain is unavoidable, preceding the birth of a new idea that will born a new black woman to live in peace with the black man. The infected brain may take several generations before the defects subside, but the work must begin now, today. The black man will never be able to excel until he gets his woman under control. Currently, he spars with the white man to preserve his freedoms while scuffling with the black woman to defend his wounded manhood. He has become adept in both roles. His work to bring the black woman into submission must begin accordingly. It is like to stepping into the ring with a wild savage boar, a reckless fire-breathing dragon that must be tamed if the black family is to survive. It is the black man's responsibility to win this battle. And lastly, I have taken this unprecedented step because of my love for my people and for my dedication to putting the original man back on top. The black man must civilize the black woman before he can have peace with her and before he can stand up and reclaim his nation. Chapter 1, Her Childhood. From the very first moment she's born, she begins attached to her first teacher, her mother. Her eyes study her mother's constantly during the initial bonding process. She learns to smile and form other mutual communication techniques. She, as with any other curb, is taught survival skills, how to eat, dress, bathe, use the toilet, general manners, and obedience, most implied by a look, or spoken in a certain tone of voice. She is able to understand the language long before she can speak it. She never stops studying her mother, and she never stops learning from her. If she is raised by two parents, she studies them both. Since she is with the mother or other females, she learns to tune in to them emotionally. She learns to observe the other adults in the same way. She can detect when they are happy, at peace, or sadly restrained or mad. She also pays attention to how her mother treats her father. She learns glances, body language, and moods. The spoken and unspoken messages that her mother displays as the cub, she mimics and includes these practices, right or wrong, as part of her survival skills from the very start. She overhears conversations that her mother has with her friends or relatives pertaining to the father. If all of the mother's comments are supportive and positive, good. But since the habit of gaming on the black man is 400 years old tradition here, the inflections are for the most part negative. She listens and records. The first mental tapes translate into pictures and forms that cannot be erased, at least not for many years. What she overhears as a small child may go something like this. I don't care what your father said, I said. I've got to cook and clean up this house before your father gets home because I don't want to hear his mouth. Your father don't run this house, I do. He don't know what he's talking about. He don't know that I know. He don't know what he's doing. John makes me sick. I get tired of picking up behind him. If the father requests something, she may hear the mother say, get it yourself, or you don't tell me what to do. I do what I want to do. Every mother is guilty of using these or similar terminologies about her husband when she is tired, exasperated, or angry during the girl child's upbringing. The training message from the mother, the teacher, is 1. The black man don't know. 2. Certain references to the black man are made only behind his back. 3. A woman has the option to choose what she wants to obey. 4. A man is a bother. After hearing various negative inferences behind the father's back, then the girl child observed how the mother may front off when the father is present, pretending that she is obedient and everything is fine. The girl child, while too young to actually distinguish between truth and falsehood, watches how trusting and unaware the father is. Soon she concludes that the mother is right, he don't know, which must mean that he is dumb. And if he is dumb and doesn't know what's going on behind his back, it makes the girl child insecure. He's physically strong, but we live two lives, one in front of daddy and one behind his back. Since the mother is her mentor and they are alike, she agrees. Yeah, and you can't trust him. He is different from us. And the cycle starts. On the other hand, if there is no biological father or stepfather on the premises whom the girl child can relate to and observe daily, the scenario may go something like this, especially if the single mother is periodically changing men or dating around. She may hear, 1. I'm going to get that nigga tonight. 2. I keep calling him every night, but he ain't home. 3. Girl, don't believe nothing he says. He just lies all the time. 4. I can't believe nothing he says. 5. I'm going to make him spend some money on me. 6. I got to find me a man. 7. I want to see what he can do. 8. You can't let a man know all your business. The training message from the mother in this instant is 1. The black man is a liar. 2. Don't believe in him. He'll disappoint you. 3. The black man will desert you. No security. 4. Withholding information is necessary practice when dealing with a black man. 5. And if you're going to deal with a black man, you have to have a plan. While the aforementioned statements examples may seem trite or unimportant, remember that they are of great significance since they are a part of a first introductory expression on the girl child about the black man who is usually not present to defend himself or prove that the charges are not true. To the girl child, these impressions represent the pure truth from the person who takes care of her mother. In the two-parent home, the girl child has an easier time learning how to charm the father and get him to cooperate with her and grant her wishes. She adopts these skills to manipulate a person whom she already believes is not too swift mentally, according to mom. She also sees that the father will give the mother a verbal order, and later she sees the mother do something else different or in direct position. She also learns the politics of female survival regarding chastisement. If the father tells her to do something or reprimands her, she finds that she can go to the mother and get the ruling changed or omitted completely. Above all, she can usually get sympathy from her mother in words, or even more powerful, from her mother eyes, which say, do it. You know how he is. Or I'll make it up to you later. Or I agree with you. He's wrong, but do it anyway. In either case, the father's words is deemed questionable and should be examined and verified to determine if it's wrong. Also, that his words can be opposed or rejected successfully. If the father becomes vocally angry with the mother, she may show her protectiveness by sending the girl child from the room or outside to play. If the father is rightfully angry, unbeknownst to the child, the mother may be extra nice to defer his attention from the issue to get his mind off of it. The father may be right, but the teaching message is 1. He's dangerous and wants to argue, but I'll protect you from him. 2. This is something I have to endure, but you don't. 3. He can be swayed with a little kindness and charm. 4. He our boss, but we do not like it because he's unfair. The girl child watches her mother simulate several emotions: pleasure, admiration, enthusiasm, interest, and corroboration. But the cutting side of the issue is that the mother obviously is projecting faked agreement, and it seems to work. In addition to these negative impressions about the capabilities and inconsistencies of the black man, who's gone all the time anyway, the girl child is introduced to fairy tales as bedtime and storytime reading. Some of the stories are fantasies about the wonderful life white men and white women lead. They tell about how gallant the white man is and how he always saves the day for the white woman. Sometimes the stories are about black people. Most of the children books are written by black females who present the black male in superficial roles, or they are shown as black men practicing a white lifestyle. The descriptions are usually vague, since the black woman does not know or admit the good values in the black man. One can only describe with words what one knows or discovers, and the black woman is hard pressed to dig up good redemptions about the black man and put it into words. Since she doesn't live it, she can't report about it. If the books are about Africa, the girl child still cannot really identify or match the African king idea with her daddy down in the living room, sprawled in his favorite chair while she watches her mother work in the kitchen. Her small minds cannot assimilate well enough to distinguish a routine setting from the artificial pictures shown in the storybooks. The black mother thinks that fairy tales are harmless entertainment for her daughter and son and have no other intrinsic value to the development of the child. A new brain not yet equipped with the psychological tools to filter or disseminate information accepts any and all information it is programmed with as the truth. Fairy tale characters, cartoons, and talking animals represent the truth to them, and judging the outcome are very detrimental to the child's development in reality recognition. Fairy tale characters, cartoon, and talking animals represent the truth to them, and judging the outcome are very detrimental to the child's development in reality recognition. Consequently, the girl child arrives at school. She has already been programmed with a bushel of false ideas about what is real and unreal, and what is for play and what actually exists. Between seeing and touching real flesh and blood people and being introduced to Mickey Mouse, a talking rat, Cinderella, Snow White, Superman, Cookie Monster, Big Bird, Donald Duck, Casper, Bugs Bunny, the Smurfs, the Muppets, and Garfield, and as a host of other cartoons, she is quite confused. She carries these fantasies into the future, and they govern many of her emotions and ideas. They become deeply rooted in her psyche and will override true information from other sources. They become deeply rooted in her psyche and will override true information from other sources. She is not looking at the cartoon. She is also listening to their dialogue and copies their responses. She is taught to love these artificial personalities. During this time, she is also introduced to Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, Cupid, and the Tooth Fairy. All of these toy animals and people are presented to her as good, and none of these first heroes, which she is taught to love and admire, are black. Other than possibly her girl baby dolls, she is not introduced to her own culture. Be aware that all of the misinformation imparted in this chapter is transmitted to the black female child, usually from the mother. By this time she is 5 years old. What a beginning.